I really didn't like leaving this week's Workshop Wednesday where we did, so to start your weekend right, we're going to progress things with the StuG 3 differential a little further. Steve managed to line up the transmission and differential pinions perfectly. He's put it back on his workbench, so now we're assembling one of the sides. The first thing going on is this special tool that Steve made that puts a bit of load into the shaft. This means that we can put more tension on the other end without any unnecessary force transferring into the bearings that we installed earlier in the week.
I think that sounds pretty good. So I'm just going to buzz this up, but not super tight. Just to hold it all together, because remember how everything is all located by this bearing here, so it's super important that the whole shaft's held together, because if you let it go apart and then we put it back together, it could mess up all the adjustments.
You might have noticed this earlier, but the holes on either side of the housing are actually different to each other, keeping in line with the German engineering philosophy of the less interchangeable parts, the better.
Not only does it look fantastic, but it's like a Buddhist temple, isn't it? Try not to squash my fingers while I'm putting it on. Fits on the inside of the sun gear. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
That's all spinning. Very nice.
Wow, not bad. So now both ring gears and the shaft are locked into place, but before we go ahead and fit out the rest of the gears, Steve is going to check the end float, which is the lateral or sideways movement of the shaft.
0.1 of a mil of end float.
This is the exact amount of end float that he had earlier when he'd just assembled the shaft, so it means it hasn't moved at all and we can move along to the next stage of the build.
Back to smacking things with hammers. So we don't need the inner part of the bearing.
The part that we're working on now is the output for the differential. If you found that sealant squeezing out satisfying, then you definitely should subscribe because there's a lot of that sort of stuff on this channel.
Before we bolt this together and it disappears forever, check out the construction of the gear, the machining work, the finishing of it. And there's still the electro pen, your part number or production code or something like that. Incredible amount of workmanship that goes into it.
No need for lock washers here. As you can see, the shoulder of the piece actually retains the bolt position. Since it's Friday, maybe every time Steve brings out a new tool that he's made for this, you can take a shot or something.
So it supports the bottom of it here and locks it into place, so it's nice and easy to torque the bolt to it up. Beautiful.
Now, a lot of the original bearings seemed alright, but going to all this effort, it just isn't worth using them just in case something's wrong. So every bearing in this unit has been replaced with a brand new one.
So we've got to be able to get all 4 components plus the 2 bearings into this side cover assembled, because it's got to go onto the side of the differential in one piece. Decent sized bearings, aren't they?
Oh, another one. Now we don't want to hammer this gear all the way in because it actually has to mesh in with this other really big gear that we just put together. Ideally, we want to hammer them in at the same time, but the fit was just too tight, so we decided to get it into our 300-ton press.
Do that too many times, eh? No, huh? No. Okay, especially my age. To rotate it. Yep. Super cool, huh? That's fantastic. That's super cool. Get this in.
Oh, the adjustable spanner.
Let's see.
Look out for that in the comments.
And another contraption for you.
And now this is the raised section that centralises the whole thing, this last bit.
Yeah.
I can actually see where the mark stops. So yeah, we've got probably about 1.5 mil to go.
Oh yeah. That's almost there, Stephen. Ready?
Fantastic. Yep.
That feels like it's pretty close. Yeah, we're not far off. Oh, that's not thin. There's not much in it, eh?
It's not a very big surgeon.
It must be really precise.
Look at that. Stop there for a minute. Oh! Happening down the fraction. More. Just a second. A little bit more. Okay, stop there. I've got no weight on there now. Okay, look at that. Yeah. That's far as the test fit goes, I think this is sensational. Next thing I'll do, now that I've validated that it's all fitting together, I'll do a few clearance checks. Then I'll lift the cover up just enough to get in underneath there, clean it, apply a bead of sealant, straight back down again, bolt it up, and then it's rinse and repeat on the other side, and we'll be very close to finalising this seat.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.